today. You have to keep the volume on this microphone is a little bit down. All right, a little bit. Okay, I think I'm good now. Thank you. Um, I want to say a very big thank you for everybody that have been following us. I want to quickly use this opportunity to say a beautiful um, thank you to everybody. So I'm super delighted to be here on another educative session of our YouTube live on property matters. We're going to be doing this for a very, very long time because I also want to get to connect, to you, our real estate investors, one on one, so that a lot of people have been saying, all we see is just, the recorded video. So today I want to try as much as I can to get, acquainted to you people today, so that we can have an interaction today. A very big congratulations to everybody that have invested in Lagos, and then I'll be responding to some inquiries today. But today I'm going to be talking about. Last week I talked about emerging locations. That was what I talked about last week. So today I am going to continue from there, and I'm going to talk about what you need to know about the Ibadan real estate sector, and I'm going to be explaining some useful type guides and tips so that you real estate investors can be well informed as you're making your decision. Remember anyhow. Are we back? Remember anyhow. Are we back?
I'm coming now. Yes.
Okay, sorry for the little break in transmission, the network. Any call that is not a client, please just cut it off. All right, so sorry for the break in transmission due to the network. So I'm going to be talking about why a lot of real estate developers are now pitching their tent in Ibadan. I'm going to be explaining the emergence of the Ibadan real estate market, and I'll also be explaining what real estate investors need to understand today. So today's topic is going to be an eye opener. So if you're coming across this video for the first time, do well to subscribe, share this YouTube live, and of course you can share our videos also to real estate investors. So let's talk about the emergence of Ibadan as a real estate. So the first thing I would say basically is that recently the Ibadan real estate industry became a preferable option to Lagos, and a lot of people have been asking why so. Why the sudden emergence of Ibadan? Well, Ibadan didn't just emerge suddenly. It didn't. There've been a lot of interest in Ibadan. I've seen instances whereby some big real estate investment companies, some of them, a lot of them have bought tons and tons of properties in Ibadan. So Ibadan didn't just emerge. A lot of people just waited for Ibadan to blow up. So that's one of the things. Now, like I said, Ibadan became a more preferable option to real estate investment. And why? Number one is that the business of real estate must go on. Okay, and one of the things that keeps most of this real estate company, just like every other company or every other business venture we have there, in check, is due to the fact that they have to have something they offer, okay, to the market, regardless of the challenges some of these real estate development companies may be facing. Business must continue. So Ibadan became a cheaper and safer alternative for some real estate development company. More importantly, those real estate companies that are known, okay, for selling lands that you cannot develop immediately. So that is how the Ibadan real estate market emerged. Now, another reason why the real estate market emerged, the change in government policy in Lagos forced a lot of real estate development company to make Ibadan their safe haven. So you also need to understand that as well. So recently I think I made a video where I was explaining some basic regulations of government, what Lagos State government is asking real estate developers to do concerning title perfection. Some people could not meet up, some of the terms and conditions that was stated by Lagos State government, and it is, a lot of people consider it not to be wise. Okay, if I have to keep buying properties and I will have issues with government. So Ibadan real estate company was welcoming due to the fact that the conditions that are needed, okay, for perfecting title in Lagos, in Ibadan, is not as rigid as the way we have it in Lagos. So Ibadan also is safer concerning that regard. So that's number two. Then the third reason why Ibadan also became a better investment decision is the price. You notice that a lot of people are doing 1.5 million per plot, some are doing 700 per plot, some are doing 200 per plot, which obviously is a fantastic investment compared as compared to some places in Epe where you have to travel distance, maybe far distance, and developer will ask you to pay 4.4, 4.5, all inclusive. So lands in Ibadan were cheap, so people could get lands in acres, in hectares, and of course resell. So that is what actually led, to the emergence of the Ibadan real estate market. And you will notice that there is no prominent, real estate development company that does not have estates in Ibadan. So that is how the market has emerged. Now, a lot of people have been asking questions. If you were to be in my shoes, would you invest in Ibadan? If you were to, considering what Lagos is doing, and I'm patriotic to my nation, I want to have properties in Nigeria because of these government policies and the likes. Can I still invest in Ibadan? Now, the truth of the matter is, I'm also um, a real estate investor. And if you ask me, will you invest in Ibadan if you have the opportunity to do so? Yes, I will. How much or how big or how large will you invest in Ibadan? Well, that question will be best answered following your decision and intention for investing in Lagos or Ibadan. Now, for instance, I've been traveling to Ibadan since 2012, so I can categorically tell you that I am more prominent and more versatile in some states. Yes, of course, Ibadan is an ancient and one of the largest city, so it is not possible for one person to tour the entire Ibadan. But I've been traveling to Ibadan since 2012, so there are some certain things I can say on this my video that you understand that I know my onions and I've done my research. So, will you invest in Ibadan? Yes, I will. If I have the opportunity, if I have the resources to do so, I will. Can I invest in Ibadan? It's dependent on your own investment strategies. In one of my videos, I talked extensively, okay, on why it is very important to build a portfolio. Now, having an investment portfolio will help you understand some certain things about real estate investment. More importantly, if you are doing Lagos. Now, investing in real estate is good, but a whole lot of investment will not give the anticipated return because of the fact that people are jumping at everything they see. So, if your portfolio, if you have designed a real estate investment portfolio for you, and you want to work with that portfolio, investing in Ibadan is fantastic. Okay, for instance, I have some properties in Ibadan, I have some in Abeokuta, I have some in Ijebu, and of course, I have some presently in Lagos. So, my own real estate investment portfolio is at least is covering some region. But did I invest everywhere? No, I did not. Now, the reason why I don't jump at real estate investment is not solely dependent or determined by the fact that I am a realtor. No. In fact, I've seen instances that it is possible for you to be a realtor and still make investment. In fact, when we started earlier in this business of real estate, I've also made um some um some mistakes as well. So I should also make this balance. So I have investments in Ibadan, I have in Abeokuta, I have in Ijebu, I have in Lagos. And what influenced that investment is due to the fact that I had an investment goal, okay, that, please check the comment section, that necessitated that I must have some investment. So I did my own investment according to the portfolio which I created. And of course, the goal was due to the fact that by some certain age or particular time, I should start earning rent from those areas. So that was what informed my real estate investment portfolio, and that was why I invested. Now the question is, will I invest everywhere? Well, because of my knowledge, because of my versatility, because of my experience, and of course because of what I've had, I will not invest everywhere. And this is what you need to do. Now, your investing in Badon is dependent on what you want from that investment. Now, I've seen instances whereby I've had interaction with some real estate investors. They will say, "Let me just have something in Nigeria. It's not as if I want to come back anytime soon. I just want to have something okay that I can lead back on." Now, if you fall into these categories of investor, you can invest anywhere in Ibadan. Whether it is the Monia, whether it's the Ido, whether it's the Akpata, whether it's the Omiadiyo, wherever an investment is, if your goal basically is just to have something in Nigeria, then you can invest in this region. Now, the reason why I'm saying this basically is that I find myself in situations whereby I had to intervene in some certain circumstances, and trust me, these circumstances were not pleasant because it was due to the fact that a whole lot of people invested in anticipation that they are coming to build 2 3 years. Now, if your intention is to build 2 3 years, then you need to watch the places you are investing, because this is why I'm saying it. Now, it is the same, it is some of these real estate development companies that sold land banking in Epe, in the Bejuleki, and other parts of Lagos. Now, from experience and from circumstances that we have seen, we are saying that these guys sold, they left it bushy, and nothing is done on the property. And that is why I said a whole lot of people will be shocked, because what they anticipated will be in contrary to what they will see. More importantly, for those who will be visiting their investment. So I really need to make that investment. So if some of these real estate developers that have failed to do meaningful development, even in Lagos that is closer to them here, don't expect them to leave Lagos and transform Ibadan. So if you are investing, then you need to invest with what? With caution. You need to invest with a strategy. Now, like I said at the commencement of this video, I said that if I have the opportunity to invest in Ibadan, I will gladly take it. But if I must invest in Ibadan, I know the places I will go to that but even if I don't build, okay, I can still do something meaningful. Except for instances whereby you may be looking at an option of going into agriculture, farming, and the likes. If that is your case, of course, you can go to far distance and do your poultry farming. But if you are investing in the sense that 2 3 years from today, you want to get something meaningful from your investment, then you need to watch who you are investing with. Because I've seen instances whereby numerous people have bought and have sold to come to investors. Many people that have record of abandoning site, that have abandoned most of their properties in Lagos, are the ones still marketing the Ibadan. So if they struggle, okay, if some of these real estate development companies struggled to even manage and develop the ones they have here in Lagos, don't expect them to deliver Ibadan. So you have to put that into consideration. Then another thing you also want to put into consideration is that you want to look at some basic things that regulate property investment in Lagos. These things are very, very important. Very, very important. And what are those basic things? Tell him to wait. Those are those basic things. Tell him to wait. So, those are those basic things. So, what are those basic things? Number one is that if you are investing in Ibadan, you need to look out for the location. Now, the location is very, very important. Now, one of the things what I said the location is very important is that I have interacted, okay, with some real estate development company that have good development plan for Ibadan. I've had interaction with them, and one of the things I've discovered basically is that if you invest with innovative real estate developers, trust me, your investment in Ibadan is going to be the best. Let me also say that as we have committed properties in different parts of Lagos, we also have it across different states in the federation. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is due to the fact that if you think that every investment is what you can jump at, then you have to have a rethink and analyze your situation. So, what I'm saying basically is that the same due diligence, okay, that you are doing in Lagos is also the same thing you should also do in Ibadan. Let me also say that as you are investing in Ibadan, you should also pay attention to some things that are very, very critical. Okay, they are very, very critical. So that is the Ibadan real estate. Of course, if you are perfecting title, like you bought a land that has registered survey and deed, if it is in Ibadan, within 6 months, you get your CO home. Now, the reason why it is so basically is that Ibadan does not have the reputation Lagos have. So, if you are investing now, I would advise, okay, that now that you still have the opportunity to do the needful, okay, do it as soon as you can. If it's to perfect your title, do that. Because you see, I have observed with time that as power changes, like as we move from one political party to another, or as we move from one regime to another, policies changes. I'm going to be talking about the Julius Berger land that was taken by the Ministry of Works and Housing in the person of I said Ministry of Work by the Ministry of the FCT in the person of Yesom Wike. I'm going to be doing a series on what really happened, and when you focus and of course follow that series, I'll be explaining some important things you should do. Because of my time is limited here, and I intend, to round up as soon as possible, I won't be going into that details. So now the present regime in Ibadan right now will enable you perfect your title in 6 months. Now, as you're buying your acres, as you're buying your hectares, don't wait for another regime that will make the process of documentation frustrating before you start doing the needful. Now, the mistake that most people made in Lagos was that people did not seize the opportunities to perfect their documentation when the policies were not as rigid as we have now. And that's why it has been a serious bone of contention right now, and it has become extremely difficult for you to even perfect and even get your documentation. So right now, the Ibadan real estate market is very, very liberal. Don't wait until regime changes before you do the needful. So now that the regime is flexible, now that you spend less to get more, do the needful. What is the next thing that you should do as you're investing in Ibadan? Well, I've seen different instances of people who are buying Ibadan now, but what I would say basically is that buy what you can perfect, buy what you can manage. Now, the reason why I'm saying this basically is due to the fact that a whole lot of people will overshoot themselves, and this is what is leading me to the next plan: understanding the developers' payment terms and terminologies. Now, the reason why I'm going to be talking more on this is due to the fact that we are presently handling some situations for some of our clients and from some other clients, and this is due to the fact that many real estate investors don't understand that there are terms that must be strictly adhered to when you are buying real estate in Lagos. So I'm going to be explaining that in a jiffy. Now, when you're buying properties, whether it is Ibadan or Lagos, it is very important that you understand some important clauses in that sales agreement. I have a video where I talked about understanding important legal clauses or important legal clauses that every real estate investors must know. Okay, so you can check our videos, they are there. Please watch that video, understand that policies differ from companies to companies. There are some real estate development companies that they will tell you that their own outright payment is 3 months. Now, that 3 months means that they expect you to pay monthly until that 3 month payment plan has been concluded by you. Now, failure to pay as at stipulated in that contract of sale may attract what we call default charges. So you need to understand that you can be doing real estate investment in Lagos and you are violating some terms of the agreement, and sometimes all these things does not end well. Now, the reason why I'm saying this basically is that if you don't want to pay more, now it is possible. Let's say, for instance, you subscribe to a property where the total package is 2.5. Now, if you don't meet up with the terms of payment, they will be what? Penalties. And that is what, and you know, a lot of people have been saying, I'm going to call my lawyer is going to handle the situation, my lawyer is going to do this, my lawyer is going to do that. Now, many of us feel from without understanding that all these clauses have been enshrined or included to the form that you have filled, that you have signed. So in some cases, if you say you want to go to court or you want to take it up legally, you will just be wasting your time, because the moment you have signed that contract, those things are what are binding. So you want to look at that. So talking about the payment structure, you need to understand the payment structure. Choose the one that is very convenient for you and stick to it. So that is one of the most important thing that I want you to understand. So, will you invest in Ibadan? Like I said, yes, I will. At least have more investment in my portfolio. But for some of your investments, don't invest in anticipation that 1 year from today, 2 years from today, your investment will start giving you returns. Now, I've seen instances whereby the real estate developers will say the property, or some realtors will say the property you bought for 5 million is now worth 6 million, or the property you bought for 8 million is now worth 10 million. Now, you say that's price that has been projected to you is only realistic when somebody has paid or bought it from your hand. Now, in as much as fact that nobody has paid you that return that has been projected, that obviously may be a fallacy. So, as I'm saying, if your investment goals and strategies is to wait for 3-4 years, trust me, there are some part of Ibadan that are the real deal for you. But if you want to buy and start earning rental income, then you need to narrow your real estate investment if you're investing in Ibadan to some places. The Bodija, the Apata, the Challenge. So there are some places whereby you can buy, you can build, and you can start renting. Now, fascinating, when I was doing my um, visibility study in Ibadan, I discovered, surprisingly, that there's the likes of the Bodija, the likes of the Challenge. These are cities in Ibadan, and some places in Akwata. Uh, there are some houses that are earning almost, if not higher, than some places in Lagos. Now, it shows how people are taking advantage. Now, getting returns on your investment is also dependent on the preference of your anticipated buyer. Now, what do I mean is that some people cannot go through the rest or the rigor of the stress, the hustle, and the bustle of Lagos. So some people will prefer, okay, to settle in Ibadan. And for the fact that they are settled in Ibadan, there are some places that they will choose. So, like I said, it's dependent on the preference of these people. You also want to put that into consideration. Then the next thing you also want to put into consideration basically is your anticipated return on investment. To me, Ibadan is a fantastic location, nice place, serene environment, and I love it. However, if your intention for investment, okay, is to earn six figures rental income, then this is where the concept and principle of land banking, sorry, I said land banking, the concept and principle of what property diversification will definitely come into play. So these are the fundamental things you need to know about the current Ibadan real estate market. So I have just like 30 minutes more. So for my group party. So let's quickly go to some questions. So I want to take some questions for some real estate investments. For some investors. I said I was going to take some of those questions. Okay, and if you have your questions too, you can drop it. So this is the question and answer. So what we do basically on our live session is that we explain what we have to, what we have for real estate investors. Then we go further, to take their questions as soon as possible. So if you have your questions too, if you have some disturbing things that you want to know about present topic, or you have some previous experiences, you can also share it with us. So let's take the questions very quickly. Okay, so this question is, okay, I'm not going to, I promise not to reveal your identity, so I will not be doing that today. So I got the question from, okay, this man is living in Lagos. All right, he's living in Lagos. How far is the money I is saying to Ibadan town? Whoa. Hey, this person wants me to start talking. Okay. Now, well, it depends on the part of money I is saying that you may be probably looking at. Okay. Question. All right, so it depends on the place of money I saying that you're looking at. Um, Let me quickly explain some things to you guys very quickly before I talk about this. Okay, talking about money, yeah, the saying aspect of Ibadan. Well, it depends on the property you have invested in, because I would not be giving an accurate description if I just generalize. I won't want a situation whereby, because some real estate developers are watching me, and I don't want to seem like I'm spoiling businesses for some people. Now, like I was saying, there are some places in Ibadan that money is saying is just 45 minutes drive. There are some places in Ibadan that money is saying is just like, let's say, an hour 30 minutes drive. So it is dependent on, you only said from Ibadan, so you did not specify, is it from Apata, is it from Challenge, is it from Ido, is it from Omiaidio, is it from Bodija? But one thing I've seen basically is that depending on where you are coming from, on how okay you intend to access the Ibadan, money is saying proximity is dependent on where you are coming from. Okay, that's it. I hope I've answered your question. Okay, so this next question says, I bought 3 acres in Iseyin with the intention of starting. Okay, okay. This question says, I bought 3 acres in Money Iseyin with the intention of starting a palm oil farm. What is the duration of Money Iseyin to the Ibadan general market? Okay, okay. This is a very fantastic question. All right, now, like I said in my video, I said that if you are investing in Ibadan, it is very important that you understand the proximity, you understand the opportunities, and you also understand the, let's say, the closeness to the market. Now, I've seen instances whereby people, well, it depends on the kind of commodity that you're selling, and it depends on the urgency of how your investors want it. I've seen instances whereby a man was harvesting a truckload of cassava. Okay, so basically, if there's an urgency, people will locate you to the farm and they buy from you. So if you're saying what is the nearness to the market, I honestly don't know the market you're talking about, but money I'm saying is accessible. Depending on where you are going to, it is 30, 45, 1 minute. I said 1 minute, 1 hour drive, depending on the location. Okay. Please, what? Okay, this next question. What is the meaning of excision in process? Oh my God. Whoa. Okay. Excision in process. All right. Let me start by explaining what excision is. Then I may have to touch some aspect of land titles so that I can communicate. Now, basically, for the Bejuleki axis and some few places in Epe, lands are mentioned in titles. So let me start by that. Now, an excision, okay, is a document that government gives a community to notify them that they have given some parcels of land for the village use. Do we understand? So if I say there's an excision on this property, that means government has given that land, okay, to the community for their use. Now, an excision is expected to be documented in a volume book called Gazette. Now, when the excision is documented under the Lagos State law, it becomes a gazetted excision. So let me quickly explain the complexity or the misconception that many people tend to have towards excision. Now, this simply means that a gazetted excision, okay, is much more stronger than an excision that has not been gazetted. Now, in fact, some people will tell you that because of the fact that it has been gazetted, that's what they call excision. So there are sometimes you tell some people, does it have excision? We say yes. Like some realtors will say, the land has government approved excision. So we say, just give me the file number so that I can. Do you understand? So that I can verify. Now, because of the fact that some people don't know that some excisions has to be gazetted, okay. Now, if it is now in process, that means they don't have an excision yet. They are just planning to get the excision. Are we together? So I need to explain this to clarify some of the misconceptions that have been, shared in time past. So if it's excision in process, that means they have just begun to start the process. It is not yet excised yet. I hope that has answered your question. Now, so what is now the relationship between a gazette and other titles? Now, under the Land Use Act, the Land Use Act says that all land belongs to the government, whether it is family land, individual land, company land. The Constitution recognizes government as the actual owners of land. So you need to understand that is why government gives title to the land. So these are some of the things you need to understand. I hope that I've answered your question. Okay, the next question says, what is now the difference between excision and C of O? Okay, pretty easy. Let me just quickly respond to that. Now, an excised land is expected to be gazetted, but an excision is a process of land documentation. Now, that means that if I have excision, a property that has excision, let me quickly inform you that the excision was not given to me. The excision was given to some group of individuals that occupy a village. So what I need to do basically to inform government that, okay, this excision land, I want to buy it and I want government to be aware, then I will now have to go through some process of what? Documentation. So I can say, okay, fine, if the excision is gazetted, if it's a gazetted excision, and that's why sometimes if I'm buying excision, I usually ensure that those excisions are gazetted. So from the gazette, what I'll just do basically to make government aware, okay, that I've bought that land from those people, I'll just process the governor's consent straight away. So despite the fact that the title was given to those people, once I have a governor's consent, the governor's consent shows that what I have bought it from them. Okay, so if the excision is gazetted, if it's a gazetted excision, if it's a gazette, if the land is gazette, all I need to do is just process a governor's consent. But if it is yet to be gazetted, I will have to apply for what we call government allocation. So once the government allocation is given, I can now apply for what? A C of O. So the process of getting my document from government, if the land is excised, okay, is different if that land has a what? A governor's, if it has a gazette. So I need to explain that so that we can understand the importance of this. So if you have questions, drop your questions. Let me. Okay, I was actually talking about Ibadan, so I found myself talking about gazettes. Okay. Okay, this person actually gave me the permission to mention his name. Okay, so this is Mr. Peter sending a message from Canada. Okay, Mr. Peter, is nice having you online, though I got your message late, but I've explained to it. You talked about buying a waterlogged property in Ibeju-Lekki. Can you please expatiate on why companies don't stand fuel? Oh, this is a big one. All right. I was talking about understanding or having a signed agreement with a real estate company. Now, there used to be a time in our Lagos State real estate market whereby real estate developers will sell waterlogged properties for you, and it is not in your own business for you to worry whether it will be sand filled or not. Okay, they will do the necessary sand filling and they will just add it, okay, to your cost of development fee. And that has made a lot of real estate investors to think that that will be the normal status quo. All right, But as events began, in fact, there are a lot of things or a lot of factors, a lot of circumstances that are actually responsible for the decision of some real estate companies not to stand still. I have a video, a live video that I made about waterlogged property, what you need to know. So you can check that. So, well, the reason why most real estate developers don't stand still anymore, number one, is due to the fact that the cost of building materials is way way off the roof. I'm in the field and I was supposed to stand field a 300 kilometer in Chongotedo, and by the time myself, my engineer, and the company that was to handle that sand filling got to the site, they measured it, and well, the bill I was given was much. So most real estate developers are scared that if, let's say for instance now, like let's look at that Ibejuleki. The reason why Ibejuleki developers will not stand still is that they cannot sell land for you. For some of those that sell extension in process, for some that sold freehold, because I'm coming to that very quickly. Some of them sold 1.5, some sold 3 million, some sold 3.2. Now, it is not logical for you to buy a land. Let's say you bought the land less than 2 million, and they are now asking you to pay 4 million for sand filling. You know, it sounds ridiculous. That's why sometimes most of them don't know how they are going to communicate to you. That's why majority of them don't sand fill. They believe that if they give you the cost of sand filling, many people will have this perception that they want to exploit people. So that's why they don't handle the cost of sand filling, because presently the cost has risen beyond necessary imagination, higher than what it used to be, and they would say let the investor face it and let him understand what they have gone through. So the cost of the sand and everything does not make them. And for, like I said, if they have sold a property of let's say 2 million and they're asking you to come and sand fill, it's going to sound very very ridiculous. That's why majority of them, please tell you not to change over now. So the cost of sand filling will tell him to wait. So the cost of these things sometimes does not sound a little bit realistic. So that's why they don't sand fill. That's it. So that's a question. Okay. Okay, this person says, is it true that the Lagos State real estate market is not for anyone? This one is it's quite I'll say it's quite tricky. Well, it depends on the perception of where you are looking examining this whole thing from, and it's also dependent on your experience and probably the people you have been dealing with. Now, investing in Lagos to me has been one of the life transforming decisions that I've made over time, and I've always encourage people to invest, provided with the fact that they know their onions, they can do their due diligence, and of course working with people. Now, one of the things I've done several times that has been the height of everything is that I have come to realize that many people have their own perception about Lagos. Now, when I talk about perception, somebody who has done successful real estate investment in Lagos will come to you and tell you Lagos is the best place to invest. Somebody who have had terrible somebody who have had sorry for the lightning, NEPA, sorry for the lightning. Okay, I think we're stable. So like I was saying, it comes from people's perception. I told you to tell you not to touch it.
You didn't touch it actually. It was
The wire.
It was keeping the other gen in that place. So the process was
All right, so
wire.
the perception. So somebody who have done a successful real estate investment will tell you Lagos is the best. Now, for somebody who have had disappointments, will tell you, tell him not to touch anything, please. Tell him to wait. So, for people who have had terrible experiences, okay, they will tell you Lagos is the worst place to invest. For somebody who have been disappointed, so you see, if you are taking investment advices, I think it is important that you weigh the analysis and opinions based on people who have had terrible experiences, people who have had good experiences. Then you evaluate. I can assure you that if you do a holistic due diligence or analysis, you will realize that from both experiences you'll be able to pick an important lesson, and this lesson will show you where to invest and how not to repeat some of their mistakes. So investing is dependent on perception. Okay, so I really need to explain this very quickly so that we will balance this whole thing. Okay. So this is a fan of Mr. Rabiu. So I was looking at a video by next question where Mr. Rabiu, the property guy, said nowhere in Lagos is a waste. So are you now saying that it is more profitable to invest on the mainland than on the island? Okay, first of all, I want to acknowledge that question, and also to say that the property guy is our boss. Is an inspiration to all of us. Okay, looking at the issue of rent, I have a video that was talking about important things to put into consideration when choosing a rental property in Lagos. I have a live session that also addresses this. However, I'm just going to briefly answer this question. When it comes to rent, there are lots of factors that determine how profitable the rental market is. And so I would not say that the mainland is more profitable than the island, or the island is more profitable than the mainland. You need to understand that what determines profitability in real estate is based on preference. Now, and it's based on proximity. Now, I've seen instances whereby some people are not just fan of anything Lekki. So, and if you have an interaction with them, you will observe, okay, that they have their own reasons. Now, what prompt decisions are based on preference? Now, I've seen other people, okay, who are based on the mainland, who believe that for them to be successful in their life, they have to come to the highland. So, what determines rent, number one, is based on the preference of the investor or the tenants that will rent your property. However, there are some obvious things that are clear indicator that this area is a good place. Number one, I talked about accessibility. Number two, I talked about infrastructure. Number three, I talked about closeness to institution. So if we're talking about rental properties, this is solely dependent on your investment goals and objective as a real estate investor. So whether a place is more profitable or a place is not more profitable is a question of what? Preference. But there are some things that I will look at that will determine if I'm investing in location or not. So for we not to waste our time, we are gradually coming to the end of this live session. So I'll be talking about that. So I think we'll have a live session that will be talking about factors to consider when you're choosing between the mainland and the highland. I'm going to be doing a session on that. Today is Monday. I think we should have that tomorrow. Let's have a session whereby I'll be giving the difference between the mainland and the island. Then I'm going to talk about accessibility. I'm going to talk about proximity. Though I saw a video, okay, of a respectable colleague of mine that was discouraging people not to invest on the island. Some of sometimes I'm always careful of what I listen to. I'm always careful of the kind of attention I give some people. And the reason why I'm saying this basically is that this particular person may be watching. There are some informations that is shared online, and some of this information can be misleading. So it is very imperative that you do your own due diligence, investigate before you come to your conclusion. So that's just it. All right. So I'll be taking just two more questions. If you have further questions, of course, you can send it to our mail, propertykingscourt@gmail.com. You can drop a question there. Our WhatsApp number +234, okay, +234 021 327360. You can also drop your questions there, okay? You can drop your questions there. You can be rest assured that if we cannot respond to it personally, we'll respond to it live, okay? Because we've been having some series of inquiries and of course, if I've not answered your question, because this is live, you are free to confront me and say, Mr. Property Matters, you have not answered my question, and of course it will be attended to. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to take just two more questions. Okay, I bought an off-land property, and the developer promised to allocate me, but he has given me a unit number, and I don't have my documents. How safe is that allocation? Whoa. Okay. Let me start. Realistically, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. If you have allocations and you don't have document to back it up, in this our Lagos, sorry, I have to say this, you don't have an allocation yet. Let me say it again. If a unit number has been given to you and you don't have documents to back it up, that allocation is, I would say, a disaster that can still happen at any time. Now, you need to understand that the concept of development or the concept of real estate is always very, very tricky. Now, and because of the fact that we have different actors, different players, different decision and policies makers in this industry, I've seen instances whereby people have been cheated simply because they don't understand the basic things that they can use, okay, to protect their interest. So I'm saying this, any allocation, okay, without a document backing it up is incomplete. I want to be beyond that. Okay, final question. It's almost 5 o'clock. Final question. It's almost 5 o'clock. Okay. What are the investment options for a first-time investor? Okay. I think this question is saying, tell us what you have for us as investors. Okay. There are multiple investment options. But what we do basically is that we don't impose. I need to say that. We don't impose. When you consult us, the first thing I think we'll do is to have an interaction with you for us to know what can fit your investment portfolio. We are not property sellers. No, we don't just say property. We build portfolio. That means after interaction, we can tell the kind of investments that will suit your needs, and we will go further, okay, to assess the options, the payment options, and every other thing, and give you an investment that will meet your expectations. So that means in our interaction, we look at what you want, what you intend, to achieve, the most important thing you want to do. We analyze it and we give, an investment that will meet your expectation. We will not underperform. We will always meet your expectation. That is the thing you need to do. So we have different options, but a consultation with us, will put us in a better position of what we should recommend and what you can work with. Okay, so in conclusion, for some of our real estate investors who are looking forward to get a house, for some of us that are coming back, okay, for the holiday, we have a project called Glory City, which is a 4-bedroom terrace duplex in Abidjan GRA. It is the most affordable 4-bedroom terrace in a well-developed area with great facilities. The beautiful thing about this investment is that it gives you the opportunity to spread payments with an initial deposit of 10 million. You can spread your payments up to 6 months and you get a finished, it's not even an ongoing, it's already finished, okay, a finished 4-bedroom terrace. Some of us who want to come and spend their holidays in December, if you calculate the amount of money you will spend depending on the duration of how long you want to stay, you will know that having that kind of apartment is good. Abidjan is very, very profitable, and then the value for rental properties in Abidjan GRA, the value of rental properties in Abidjan GRA for a terrace is above 80 million. So this developer is selling 55 million. So we have it. So if your intention is to get a finished apartment, now when you are going, you can put it out for rent. For that kind of 4-bedroom terrace, you can't charge anything less than 3.5 to 4 million. That's the beautiful thing about owning your own property. And if you are to resell, trust me, when they started this project, they were selling for 40, later it increased to 43 to 45. Presently the present value is 45, is 55 now. Imagine how long it will sell. So this is for investor who wants to own. We see we would have just 3 units for this offer, so it's a matter of the finger. All right, so I'll be taking more questions. So in our next video, I'm going to be talking about the mainland real estate market and the highland real estate market. I'm going to be drawing a comparison of lifestyle on the mainland, lifestyle on the island. What informs, okay, the rental decisions and the available opportunities for both. So it is very, very wrong, okay, for you to make decisions based on people's experiences. Now, what I mean by that basically is due to the fact that I've seen instances whereby people have had terrible experience with this. In fact, even me myself, I don't know if that grammar is correct. Myself, okay, I've had I've had experiences where I have to fast and pray, for the developer to give us what we paid for. These are some of those experiences we have. But you need to understand the indices, you need to understand the analysis, you need to understand what inform, okay, rental decisions. Then we are going to do a comparison of some of those things. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow by God's grace. Tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. I was supposed to do it lesser than this, but I had a lot of engagement today. So tomorrow, 4 p.m. is the date. We're going to be talking about the mainland real estate markets, or important things to put into consideration before you choose a rental property on the mainland and on the island. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at the cost of living. We're going to look at, of course, many people used to say the highland is traffic prone. Yeah, of course, there are instances whereby we've had traffics, okay? But you need also to understand that if you are on the island, you need to program your movement, because it is not all the time that we have traffics, okay? If I'm to do some things on the island, apart from the fact that Google Map has been helping some of us, you also want to look at how to schedule your movements, okay? The best time, like a lot of people I'm seeing, the Chevron axis, the Lekki axis, is dependent, okay, on the, are we not saying that we don't have places on the mainland where we don't have traffic? So we need to look at our holistic overview. Then also tomorrow, please take this down as I'm saying it. Also tomorrow, I'm also going to be talking about three things that will show if a developer will fumble. Three warning signs that will show if a real estate developer cannot deliver that project. Now, I'm always fed up with these things that have bought properties, it has not been delivered, a lot of things have been done. It's a thing that double tap on this, on the live. So it helps a lot of things. So I'm going to be talking about three warning things to put into consideration, or three things that will show if there will be a problem on the property you are about to buy. So that obviously will be so tomorrow is going to be another interesting session. We also have a lot of educative videos coming your way. We have been working tirelessly just to ensure that you get the best. We have been doing a lot of educative sessions, and the purpose of this basically is to ensure that I've had my own fair share of the bittersweet experience of real estate investment, and this obviously has been one of the things that have motivated me to be doing what I'm doing. Basically, I know how hard people work to raise these funds, and that's just one of those things. So first of all, I want to say a very big thank you to everybody. Okay, Polymath, thank you. Okay, Pretty Girl, thank you. The Man of Thoughts, thank you very much. For everybody, Henry Innocent, thank you very much. Lily, thank you. I just want to quickly appreciate everybody that have been on this live session. I don't take it for granted. Thank you very much. And this is where we're going to draw today's curtain. Don't forget to join us for another explosive. So we're going to be analyzing the island rental market, the mainland rental market. That after tomorrow's video, you will be in a better position to choose which one is that best suits you. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. Bye for now.